What is up, bookworms and constant readers? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is the first of the 50 states, 50 scares. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll put a link up here to the video. The New York Times, a few months back, I believe it was last October before Halloween or around Halloween, they put out this list of the 50 scariest books that take place in each state. And it's actually over 50 books because, for one, they include Washington, D.C., which is not a state. And there's also, I think, 2 trilogies in there, maybe 3 trilogies. So it's closer to like 60 books, and all 50 states plus Washington, D.C. Again, highly recommend if you want to see the full list and read them for yourself, check out that video. Sorry for the delay on this video. It has been not a good week. This should have been out like last week, but I have lost the memory card for my camera, so I had to order a new one. Then my light broke, and I still haven't found a replacement for it. It takes this giant bulb that's like this big, and it's one of those spiral bulbs. I have yet to find a replacement. I got a feeling I'm going to have to buy a whole new light. So hopefully the lighting in this video is not too bad. The little screen that I can see, it doesn't look terrible. I have also accumulated enough books. Today is Friday the 13th. Quite fitting for a horror novel. Probably Monday I will do a book haul video, kind of a summer book haul video. I've got one more week and then grad school starts. So I don't know how often videos are going to be out. I am currently almost done with a Stephen King book that will premiere on the channel. I've had a few of you, and I've had friends and family say, you love Stephen King so much, put some of his stuff on there. I was going to wait until I finished the read-through that I'm on with his material, but I decided the book that I'm on, which is called Cell, that'll be the first Stephen King book on the channel. And then with this list that I just started, Stephen King has a few books on there. So before I read those books, I'll put the preceding books on the channel, except maybe for The Outsider, because that's a lot of books to read and it would really hold up this list. Maybe I can get them in before I get to The Outsider, and that way we keep going. But for the most part, I'm going to be doing horror novels and thrillers for a while. That's what I read the most, and that's what this channel is originally all about. I know I started with the Witcher series. Everybody told me how great it was. I'm glad I read it. But this channel is really on horrors and thriller novels. So with that being said, stuff like that is what's coming up. I will let you know the next books to look out for. So probably the next book will be Stephen King's Cell. And then after that, it will probably be book 2 of the Dresden Files. It's called Full Moon. That's Fool. And that's the 2 that I'm reading right now. I should finish the Stephen King before I finish the Dresden book, so that's going to be the next couple videos, a book haul video, Stephen King's Cell, and then the Dresden Files, Book 2. But this video is all about Michael McDowell and the Elementals. I never heard of this writer before. I've never read any of his stuff. I don't know if you can see on there, but Stephen King does give him props. It says the finest writer of paperback originals in America. This book, it wasn't great, but it was really good. I gave it a 4 stars on Goodreads, and I think that's a little high. I think it's more like a 3.5 star book. It's not a book that I would say, you've got to read this book. But it is a good book if you've got kids that want to get into horror novels and you're afraid to give them something, like Jack Ketchum or Stephen King or some of the more graphic authors out there. This is a great one to start with. This was originally published in 1981, so it's fairly old, but it still holds up today. And this one, all these 50 states, 50 scares, they go in alphabetical order by state. So this one takes place in Alabama. And it revolves around these 3 Victorian homes and this family. This family is the Savage family, and also their in-laws. I do not remember their last name right now. It slips my mind. The McCraes, I think. And the book tells the story of this family. They've been in Alabama for ever, for 300 years. They're the 3rd richest family in Alabama, Mobile to be more specific. And the book opens with the death of the mother in the family. You're at her funeral, and some strange things happen at this funeral. This family is weird. They have some weird traditions, and there's a lot of, what the hell is going on moments. The other thing about this book is it is a real slow burn. You're going to be 120, 130 pages in before stuff really starts happening and you start seeing where everything is going. It's not a boring book to read. It does keep you interested because all this weird stuff keeps happening and you're just like, what is the point of this? Where is this all going? It all comes together in the end. So this mother, she dies, and she died on this piece of property that this family owns on the Gulf Coast. I looked it up. It's not a real place. It's called Beldame, Alabama. And every high tide, it gets cut off from the mainland. You have the ocean on one side and this giant lagoon on the other side. And when high tide comes in, it cuts off the roadway to get out, and you're basically trapped there until the tide goes out again. And this place is remote. There's no power, there's no phone, nothing. And on this little piece of property sits 3 Victorian homes. They are totally identical, and they all face in different directions. The one home is the Savage home, And that's where the main members of the family, like these Savages, live. All of the in-laws and stuff, they have their own house that they stay in, and then there's this third house. And this third house, nobody talks about this house. Nobody, as far back as anybody can remember, nobody's ever lived in this house. And everybody is afraid of this house. And that's where the story revolves around what is wrong with this house. And whatever is inside of this house, they say it's not a ghost, it's not a spirit. They say it's a ghost, or it's not a ghost, that it's a spirit. And they think there's more than one, and they call them the elementals. And I think this is where the book kind of falls a little flat. I don't think the artist could put the author could put what was in his mind to paper. And so that's the part of this novel that kind of drags it down. It could have been like a 4-star book if this would have been explained a little bit better. And the explanation they give is, it's like, what? It doesn't make any sense. But the events that happen, they kind of compound each other, and things get worse and worse as the book goes on. And then it all erupts in this like grand finale of an ending. It is a really good book. I totally recommend it to any horror fan, thriller fan. It has some funny parts in it. It has some sad parts in it. The ending is a total surprise. But it was a strong start for this list. Next on the list, we're going to Alaska, and this is the first trilogy of the list, which is 30 Days of Night. They did make a movie on this. It's a graphic novel. I do have the 3-volume set. I will read that. Shouldn't take very long. And that'll be books 2, 3, and 4 on the list. And that should be coming after the Dresden book. But Michael McDowell's The Elementals, you can still find it on Amazon, still in print. Very cool book, a very interesting story. The explanation of the elementals is kind of vague, and it kind of brings the book down on the explanation. But check it out. It was a fun read. Looking forward to the 30 Days of Night. And I'll take the weekend off and then do a book haul video, and I'll see you in the next one. Comment below if you've read this book. What did you think about it? Hit the like button. Give this video a thumbs up. And as always, subscribe to the channel. It's going to be mostly horror novels and thrillers for a while. There'll be a little bit of sci-fi put in there. But the super epic fantasies I'm going to hold off on for a while. That's all I got for you in this video. Till next time, read more books.